Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, we got one of the biggest fights in British history, probably the biggest fight in British history, and a pretty major heavyweight fight. Reason why? When you can put Undisputed in the name of your fight, then it's huge. But it should be. Undisputed means a whole lot. It should mean a whole lot. Let's be consistent here. And that'll be Anthony Joshua, who got all the titles except the WBC, and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury got the WBC and the lineal, right? Which does mean something, right? So they're supposed to be organizing a fight. We hear they probably is imminent. They're going to be signing it in the next week. The contracts are going back and forth from Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter, to Bob Arum and Frank Warren, the promoters of Tyson Fury. Now, I was saying, as far as I'm concerned, let me make this clear, disclaimer, I don't care about the fight doing well or not, right? I absolutely don't. I don't know if it'll go as far as I might not watch it, but it's a might not there, right? And anybody that's been here more than one time probably understands why that would be. But I might get to it in the video. But the bottom line is, so it doesn't really matter to me. It's not like a fight that I'm craving for in the first place. I've seen that the two guys in the fight acted differently in other situations, and that is the reason why, in my opinion, is a little how it is. But whatever, it's a heavyweight match. It's the biggest match in British history, and it's two behemoths, gonna go at it. Cool for all the marbles, right? So that's important. But like I said, about a month ago, I said, hey, I think that fight is gonna flop, right? Now, flop is probably going a bit too far, but I just don't think it's going to do as well as people are thinking. It still could probably be the biggest fight in British history or whatever, but it's not going to do as well as many people think. And I have a few reasonings, right? Let's start with the obvious, right? Being as though I'm American and stuff like that. My point was, the American pay-per-view matters, right? It's not $25, it's $75 and up, right? And due to the fact that neither Anthony Joshua nor Tyson Fury has ever generated pay-per-views, right? Fury with Wilder, but by itself, he barely could fill up, with Otto Waller and Tom Swartz, barely got 3,000 people to even come. That's before COVID. So, he has it. And Joshua, when he fought before Andy Ruiz, Povetkin, I think that's when the Zone first came in, 17,000 people just viewed it, right? Then not even talking about pay-per-view, viewed an Anthony Joshua fight. It doesn't matter who he fights, but it was Povetkin or Ruiz, one of the two. 17,000 viewed it from America. So that it's not going to do well there. Then you put on top of it is America's where Deontay Wilder's from. We know that 75 million don't give a damn about Deontay Wilder. But there's others, right? And the others that do care about anybody that could possibly have been cheated, right? And some people say was going to boycott it just because they feel like Tyson Fury cheated them, right? Others might be because, hey, when he was negotiating with Anthony Joshua's energy wasn't up like that to be undisputed like it is now, right? That's going to irk a few. Just tell you things that irk me, and it's not going to be just me by myself, right? Those are going to irk a few to maybe boycott and not want to. And then you just got some people that's sour grapes, right? Man, Fury beat Wilder. I ain't watching because the dude beat Wilder. There's going to be a few of those, right? So the American market is fickle, to say the least. So therefore, you're not going to be able to really say, hey, we can depend on that market, right? So that's just it for America there. So forget America, though, for all those who say it's not so important, right? Which it is. Then you're going to need, actually, we're in a pandemic, and that goes for everyone. This fight would be huge if it was in England, and not being able to be held in England is going to hurt it. Wembley, was 100,000 would come to Wembley to see those two, right? That's just not going to be there, unfortunately, for the fight. Because that 100,000 will come see them too in England, but they're going to have to go somewhere else. So, site fee is paramount here, right? Paramount. So that's why they're thinking Middle East. This is what Eddie Hearn is talking about. They got to go to the Middle East, right? That's what they're offering, those huge site fees where they can get both of these guys paid. That's the only hope really, to get them paid like they want them to be paid. The problem is in the Middle East, there's issues. The obvious human rights issues. You know, if it's women, right? If it's women, if it's the LGBT community, right? If Tyson Fury got problems with them anyway, you know, and then they go into the Middle East, freedom of speech over there, right? Those are issues that people have, right? And some people are going to take issue for the fight being held there. Like, everybody's not going to follow these guys till the wheels fall off. There's going to be some casuals be like, man, why y'all going over there? Man, forget it. Then just take less money, everybody. Not understanding that this is so huge, and those kind of people that's going to be like, hey, you know, you never can forget, some people still have integrity and principle, right? You're going to run to a few of them. It's not many left, but there's still a few people on this planet that have integrity and principle, and that's going to irk them, right? So you got the American thing, then you got to go to the Middle East, right? It's going to be some issues there, obviously, right? Then you have another thing that's popping up, right? You have the Daniel Kinahan problem, right? And for those who don't know, that's the advisor of NTK Global in Britain, you know, taking care of boxers, advising boxers, right? A guy, and this is the guy who actually is the one who Tyson Fury thanked for finalizing the fight with Anthony Joshua. And this is his advisor. But the problem is, you know, they just had a documentary, a big documentary on BBC in Britain. It's a huge network, right? And they told a lot of stuff about the crime that this guy is allegedly into. And it's not small stuff, right? These are huge things, like, you know, huge things, right? And we don't want to get into every one of them, but things that Mafia people do. This is what he's alleged of doing, and he has a lot to do with this fight being made. Now, there's already backlash. There's already backlash. You have entities asking people to distance themselves, venues to distance themselves, sponsors to distance themselves, stuff like that. There's calls for boycott, and you know, like I say, these things are not small. Right? If you have somebody who's had something to do with the Mafia involved, then you're looking back and you're seeing all of a sudden, wait a minute, that thing that went down with Tyson Fury and this old man said he didn't give him wild boar, Martin Carefoot. But all of a sudden Martin Carefoot was being harassed and at the end of the day, silenced. Then you're thinking, whoa, Fury's team had, you know, people in there that have a criminal background, right? Then you have the faux pas from Billy Joe Saunders. Total faux pas. Comes out again on the internet and talking smack, you know, to Barry McGuigan, a stalwart in British boxing. And he was coming out in that documentary. From what I hear, I didn't see it, but he was saying some things too about this guy he's a little bit too strong in boxing, and this stuff is not right, basically. And you know, he's got people coming to him complaining, right? You know, basically threatening him after that. That's huge. And Billy Joe Saunders came out attacking him, saying something that could have been towards his daughter. Billy Joe come out and said he didn't say that, but you know, Billy Joe is the kind that, you know, with your track record, people are going to expect the worst, or they should, because Billy Joe has constantly done things. This is not Billy Joe. We don't have to get to him. This could turn into a video about him. So he shouldn't have came out and said nothing, but he came out defending the guy and you know, and going in on Barry McGuigan. I don't know what's up. Now, the crew, you know, from the BBC. Now, BBC is like ABC, NBC, CBS. BBC's big in Britain. British boxing, I forget what, broadcasting something, right? They the main ones. Now, the crew that was filming this has been threatened, right, for filming this. So, you're looking at all these things, all of these things that are going on. You know, if you're going to the Middle East, there's problems. You're dealing with, you know, backlash for the guys, the affiliations, and the guys who brought this over the line, this fight. Then you got the American thing going on, right, with the fans, and with the fact that, you know, it's not that much interest in the first place, right? Then, I didn't even mention it, I might as well do it at the end. Then you have whatever's going to go down with Deontay Wilder, right? whatever is going to go down. I've talked about that enough now. Whatever is going to go down there. So there's a lot of hurdles, right, to deal with this fight. I think it's going to possibly flop. But like I say, flop when nobody's interested at all. No, I don't mean that. But I mean it might do a lot less than what people are thinking. And there's a whole bunch of reasons there. So for those that want the fight, you're just going to have to hope that everything is swept under the rug like it normally is. But let's make sure this is clear. Justice matters, and it always takes a while, right? But at the end of the day, justice will be served. So who's going to know what's going to happen with this one? Let's keep our eyes open. One way or another, I will let y'all know. Don't Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.